So the better way to think about the desired reality is not so much in terms of future and present, right? Not so much in linear sort of time-oriented ways as in space-oriented ways. Here's an example. Radio stations, right? Radio frequencies. It's a whole lot of channels on the dial, right? But you have your favorite ones. So in my case, I listen to 104.9, 95.5, 90.7, 88.7. And occasionally, if I'm feeling frisky, 107.7. It's kind of young to be. Okay? But that doesn't change the fact that there are still 90 other stations that exist on the dial. The thing is, though, I'm not attuned to them. I haven't turned to them. So because I haven't turned to them, I'm apt to thinking that they're not there. When they're there, I just haven't connected to them. I haven't turned to that frequency. The frequencies exist simultaneously. That is to say that the desired reality of spirit doesn't know space or time. It's human conception. So in the infinite presence of spirit, of God, of life, every reality we could possibly want exists right now. Right now. How do I know that? Because there's somebody else who's living that reality in some way. I may be experiencing poverty, but somebody else may be experiencing wealth. I may be experiencing having education, somebody may be experiencing not having education. I may be experiencing raising children, somebody else may be experiencing not. And to the extent that anybody is experiencing that reality, it means the reality is there. It is available to everybody. And even the realities that nobody has started to experience yet are still there. They're just undiscovered. So it's sort of like those realities are like, you know how dogs can hear stuff that humans can't? You know, so they exist. We just haven't heard them yet. Are you still with me? So I say healed future, but really I'm talking about the simultaneously existing desired reality that we haven't turned to yet, attuned to, paid attention to, connected to, turned on yet. Why do I say this? Because I don't want you to feel like it's so far away. Our feelings that something is so distant often defeat us. And I'm saying the desired reality you want is an adjacent reality. It's the difference between being in this room and being in that. Different rooms in the house. It's closer than you think. Because you couldn't even imagine it if it wasn't close. You couldn't even imagine it if it wasn't close. So the very fact that you could conceive it means that it's right up against you. Oh, that's so good. I feel like doing a holy dance. You know? Okay. It's such a radical shift for us. It is. I mean, it's such a radical shift for us. It's like, oh, I just really want to do this. Oh. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because there are a whole bunch of people who never imagined what it is you imagine. I mean, they just never imagined it. So it's not even a possibility. I mean, it's a possibility, but it's so remote. It is farther away because they don't even imagine it. But if you imagine, it's close. Yes, Michelle.
I was going to say, sometimes when it's close, you don't really, you haven't defined it, you don't know what it is, but you know it's right there. You feel like just climbing that staircase and getting up the steps, you know, it just, you have that fear of really moving forward to figure out what it is that you really want. I mean, you might know what it is, but there's something stopping you from going after it.
Right. So it's on the other side of the door, but you don't know how to open the door. Right? So part of it is there are, and it could very well be that there is an alligator in front of the door. Right? And those alligators are our fears. Right? Something that feels real and feels threatening. That feels like it is blocking our entrance into the desired reality. And even if we don't have an alligator at the door, we still may not know how to unlock the door. We may think the door has deadbolts and a whole bunch of other things. Again, usually things that we've created. And why is that? Because you can't tell me of any circumstance, condition, context, or situation that cannot be outdone by an infinitely creative mind or intelligence. Are you with me on that one? So there are people who say, well, Rebeccah, I experienced racism. Now I'm a black woman. All right, so I understand that. Our people had to deal with slavery. Okay. Yeah. But weren't there runaways? Hello. There were folks who left the plantation who could imagine freedom and energize it enough that it could take them literally out of the known world into a state that they had never physically experienced, but was so real that they could do nothing but pursue. Right? You can say, well, learning was illegal. And yet how many slaves were up in master's house? Listening or looking or watching? Coming back, scratching letters in the dirt? Reading the Bible? Worshiping is even right? So infinitely creative adaptive intelligences find ways to get around whatever the oppressive, repressive regimes and structures are. They are no match for a creative mind and a courageous spirit. They are no match for a creative mind and a courageous spirit. Period. Stand in that power. The creative mind, the courageous spirit, internal. We're moving from effect to cause. Okay, so I'm going to keep with this healed future for a moment. And I'm going to say, you wrote down the paper, you have a sense of what it is, you know what you want to feel, you know what it is you want to experience, and oops, what happens right about that time? The status quo. Jump stand up. That's right. They say, hey, Atia. Right? They say, hey, Rebeccah, the hot water heater went out. I said, oh, man. I ain't sleeping out going, man, hot water heater. Oh, can you change the copper wire? No, you need a whole new water heater. Your water heater is 24 years old. Well, how much is that? Right? So we go, okay, all right. Right? And those things are triggers. The triggers come up, right? And they say, you have to attend to me. Here I am on status quo, you have to attend to me. And they're usually legitimate reasons. Oh, I mean, you can find all sorts of justifications for them. Right? The water heater is what it is, but my interpretation that what the new water heater means is that I really can't stand in my calling. Is that what the water heater means? You see that? How many of us make that leap? Okay? You know what I'm saying? You go take your happy butt back to a stable job. before heathen. Right? So it's not the experience so much as the meaning it is that we assign to the experience that becomes the trap. And the meanings that we assign, the interpretations that we place upon the experiences that we have, meanings that we assign, the interpretations that we place upon the experiences that we have, are all about our beliefs. Remember those internal ones. Now I bet you there are a billion other people on this planet who do not interpret hot weather heater means you can't live the life you want. But I did. Or new tires, okay? New tires, whatever. Whatever. Okay. New grandchild, diagnosis or something. Right? Means that you can't ever be healthy. They said I got sugar. Right? I'm gonna be taking this stuff for the rest of my life. I ain't never gonna be able to do. Well, is that what sugar means? How many people have sugar and have managed to still live fulfilling active lives? Alright? The difference isn't in the circumstances, in the interpretation, it's in the meaning and how we act upon the meaning. Remember that the beliefs drive the behaviors. The beliefs drive the behaviors. So what I'm saying is, be mindful of the psychic tracks even if you can't stay out. So even if we say, hey, psychic track. How are you? Psychic track for me. New time, psychic track. Man, I used to see calling me, ooh, psychic track. All right, I'm touching anybody's toes. And my husband's in this room because that didn't happen, honey. It's imagination. Okay? It's a psychic trap, and it's a psychic trap that tries to keep us bound to it no longer works. And it's not an external force working on us, most often. Really what it is an internal force. It's our divided consciousness. It's the part of us that longs for the stability of the flow. Now, I'm going to give a biblical example, but truly you can find this example in any spiritual tradition, I'm sure, about this psychic trap. Right? And Adrian, you can tell me if I'm theologically off. It's our seminary. Okay? So, Lot had a wife. And my minister used to call her Saltine. She never really had a name. But Lot had a wife. And Lot and everybody else was told by the angels, am I right so far? To leave, Gomorrah? Sodom and Gomorrah? Right? Got to go. It's too much craziness, right? Think of Sodom and Gomorrah as the status quo. And Lot's running. Okay, so this isn't necessarily in the Bible. Okay, this is my modern day interpretation. So Lot's running, and his wife, she's behind him. And Lot's like, we got to head out of here. And his wife says, yeah. They said, wait. And that's it. She gets turned into a pillar of salt. Okay? We have lots of pillars of salt in our own lives and around us. The pillars of salt are simply a metaphor for the places where we get stuck to reality that doesn't work anymore. Where we are still holding on. We're still holding on to the old, no longer useful way. And as long as we're holding on, we can only be present for that.